Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they stay the same. You're getting way over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can't win, child. Can't break even, can't get out of the game. Yeah.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, good folks in the house. Let me welcome a couple people, and then we're going to bring our guest up. Okay. Oh, Prince Johnny, Prince Zachariah, he's up to first today. Adric didn't make it first place, so we have to see how the stream is going to be. Eddie, what's going on? Jamal, what's going on? Ah, MGTOW Universe, okay. A fellow IT professional in the house. Hurricane Greg, Sam C, Babu, what's going on? Wunkler, what's happening? Will AR, what's going on? A Plus Tech, okay, got all the techies in the house. Dame Digital, what's going on? Mr. Me Too. Kevin 3905, Amazon should hire me as a solutions architect so their infrastructure won't go down. Got to speak Russian like Theo. Mr. Me Too, what's going on? Forever Blessed. AB Media, another techie beaming in on a dusty transporter pad number 7. Vincent John Doom, what's going on? The Average Black Man, what's going on? It was Jermaine. We got some Jermaine stories. Even that chick that was dancing, dancing on the stage, and with a man in the crowd. She's blaming it on Jermaine. It ain't her fault. Dave Tower, what's happening? Kelvin Davis, what's going on? All Star G, what's happening? OX, what's happening? Marcus, what's going on? Lionel Player One, what's happening? Joe Fleming. Kevin 3905, okay. LAXC, what's going on? Aquatechy, another of our brothers in the house, okay. Shannon Green, Techie Noir, what's happening? Say salute to Theo. Straggle Security, what's happening? Okay, they all showing up, okay. Okay, you could ask that question as soon as Theo comes up, okay. Theo will make all that stuff clear. Yeah, okay, that is all. I said this is not the petty channel, okay. Prince-O, and I think that's it. All right, let's go ahead and bring our guest up. There's the genius, our resident genius, speaking 4 freaking languages. He's not human, but
I am human. Actually, I'm very human.
No. I have to. No, we're gonna have to put you underneath a X-ray machine, man. I don't believe it. There's circuits underneath there. What's up, Theo?
I'm very good. I'm very good, actually. I had a long day, and yeah, and it's been pretty good, actually. It's been Tuesday's usually my busiest day of the week, so I got hit pretty hard. As normal, and I'll be teaching. Of course, we have the new GCP class starting today. So,
what is GCP?
GCP is Google Cloud, Compute Cloud.
Compute Cloud.
And
okay.
it's a it's there's top 3 cloud providers in the United States. So they're AWS, Azure, and GCP. So
Mm.
it's usually, if you're doing cloud services, you're doing one of those 3.
Okay, you got to remember that everybody that's listening to us doesn't know all the tech lingo. Because sometimes I get PhDs come in with tech lingo, so you're going to have to, if there's an acronym that's not common, you have to kind of define it first, okay, and then you can use it because
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you.
yeah,
So in the class, I teach that. I teach what these things are and
okay,
why they're important. And then, of course, tonight I'll be teaching the standards for this.
okay,
So, like, how the history of this and how it started. So today it's very much a basic class,
okay.
just to get their minds ready for what they need to do.
We're going all the way
Um,
back to ARPANET.
no, it's not going to go that.
Not quite that far back. Huh?
No.
Okay.
For what is it?
McTow University, if you want to come up, man, you just let me know. Um, um, right now it's Theo. Theo's got, it's his. He wants to present something, so that's why I brought him up. And this is what we call skills and resources, sir. So so for people that don't think that we actually do this, Theo's the man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for the person who said that he couldn't get into the group because you don't have a profile pic, that's exactly correct.
Okay.
I don't. If you're a weirdo, I don't know if you're a woman. I don't know who you are. I need to screen you.
Yeah.
The same thing with Kevin Samuels. I'm a part of the mix, and he said specifically, if you don't have a profile pic of you,
yes,
you can't go in the group.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I need to know who you are. That's basic.
Yeah, and me as a content creator, and with people that are unknown and that have knives out for you, you want to kind of at least have an idea who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I just need to get an idea. Anyway, when you go into the class, the first 3 weeks, you have to have the cam on anyway, so I'll know who you are. But is this kind of like going on Facebook and not having any profile picture?
Yeah.
It's like totally empty. I'm like,
Yeah,
are you weird?
That's very strange. Why
Yeah.
are you on Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah, like, are you serious? I don't know who you are, so no.
Unless it's like a group account. Like I have a couple of group accounts that are brand accounts that don't have any personal pictures. But for a regular person, you should have that's what Facebook is actually for.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, good to be here. I've been following you since 2017.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone should know that BGS and Obsidian were my introductions to the Black Manosphere. I'm biracial. My mom's white, and I was in the white manosphere forever. I didn't even know the black manosphere existed.
We didn't. We really didn't for the most part. It didn't until like 2015, 2016. It really didn't. Okay, the TOF and BGS, what it do? Thank you for stopping through. Oh, thanks for Theo. Theo is, Theo's done got the Lord's work, man, because he doesn't have to do this crap. So
yeah. So basically, I'll tell you.
So where'd you start out? Did you start out with the you start out with the pickup artist? You start out with
no
with the
men going their own way.
You follow MGTOW. That's where I started. So I don't know if you followed me with Black Gnostic Speaks over on MGTOW.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was you.
You didn't know it was me. Okay.
No. I was definitely reading.
Okay.
And then I was looking at your content, but I started in 2000. I did monk mode in 2011.
Oh, really?
My monk mode was like hardcore, 100% no contact.
Okay.
Like 0. So that was year 7. I did monk mode 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. Oh, anyway, really, the thing is, in this, I was talking to Young Grizzly about this. You know Young Grizzly, right? I'm sure you've heard of him, right? Because he does IT. He's in Georgia right now, but he he was just saying that today. He said monk mode is hard to get into, and it's also hard to get out of once you get comfortable with it.
Yeah,
I'm taking to a couple of people through it that said, okay, if you're going to be in monk mode, a lot of people went into monk mode during COVID. And by force, I said, okay. I said, unless you want to stay in this, you got to keep in contact with females. You have to keep your resistance up to them because you don't know how much emotional labor, especially a black man, does for females. And I said, if you stop doing it and try to go back, it's going to be tough because
Yeah, it is.
they're going to irritate you because you don't have your resistance to them. People, you don't realize how much emotional labor goes into a relationship, especially for a black man, especially if you have a black woman.
Huh.
There's a lot of emotional labor and there's a lot of things that you have to put up with that would normally irritate you for things. But over time, as a little boy, you have a resistance to it, right? But if you go just like anything, go cold turkey, and
Mm.
just like if you stop lifting weights or something like that, you go cold turkey and you have to get back to the gym, it's going to hurt. Okay. And
Hmm.
coming out of monk mode is hard is because once you get involved and she's gonna just be a woman and she's gonna do some crap that you don't like, right? You can say, to hell with this shit. I don't need this stuff. And you're gonna walk away and then you're gonna go back into monk mode, right? So it's tough.
Yeah, I would say, okay, so for myself, the second year of monk mode, I
Hmm.
did my first major therapy. And it was there that my therapist and I, um, we basically established that
Hmm.
I was doing much better on my own
Mm.
than I was in relationships. And then my second therapy was right before I started listening to you, but the effect was with you. That's why I remember it so well.
Hmm.
So my second therapy was childhood survivors of adult narcissist or parents of narcissist,
Okay.
something like that. I forgot the exact term of it. And my therapist and I, again, we went through a pretty big deep dive on it.
Okay.
And
You went all the way into the shadow, huh?
oh yeah,
Okay.
and my therapist stated that I had never been loved without fear or manipulation in my
Okay.
entire life,
Okay.
and basically I had to really think about having a relationship if I wanted to because
Right.
I had no active model for receiving love at all.
Okay. Yeah.
And I understood this. So when I actually started listening to you, the reason I
Mhm.
remember it so well is because I was so deeply black pill at that time. And I understood. I was going through my life and I was looking at all the times that I had tried to receive love or tried
Mhm.
to fix people,
Right.
and it was nothing. There was nothing there. It was everything I did was futile.
Right.
And of course, I'm listening to your words and I'm recognizing that I have by far more in common with black men than I did with white men.
Okay.
And I needed to really move over to the black manosphere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would listen to, I was a ninja listener. I would always be quiet listening to you, but I would go walk out and I was making like, I remember I started listening to you. I was making $385,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
And you would think that I was going out like
Yeah.
like smashing everything that's there. And I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking and contemplating like what were my actions in life?
Mhm.
What had I done? And how did I need to clear things out? And it was very painful. I remember
Oh,
this is very dark.
yeah.
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 Got
I
through
mean,
it.
and that's the whole thing between that biracial children, especially in America, go through because people don't realize, even though we have a lot of stuff in common, like 90% in common, but that 10% makes a big difference in America about
Mhm.
especially between a white man and a black man. It's a big difference, okay? And
Mhm.
how
Oh
especially
yeah.
if you're gonna date black women. If you're gonna date black women, then huge difference, okay? There's a huge difference between white women and black women. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was basically with all women,
Oh,
I had
okay.
dated.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, even Japanese, I had
Oh,
had the
really?
same issue. Yeah, I
And it
it
wasn't
was
it wasn't them. It's just you couldn't receive love.
yeah, I couldn't receive love, so
Yeah.
I had actually I understand like the theory of receiving love and what it was going to do. And
Yeah.
at that point, I was like, well, why don't I just make more money? But I was like, well, but that's not life, right?
Yeah.
So then, if I receive love, I actually had to understand where I was denied it as a child.
Right.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that was a dark hole.
Yeah. Yeah. You had to dig all that
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Oh, I had to
And,
that was painful.
yeah. You had to reconstruct your
Right.
ideas, okay, as an adult,
Uh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So then the
And
last
then,
one.
and then you have to confront your parents as adults instead of as a child.
That's
And it's
correct.
tough.
Good, you understand it.
Yeah, I
So
understand. Oh, that just went. I had to go through. I went through it early. Okay, I
yeah,
went through it at 12. So I had to
okay.
go through it early. But I've seen my brother go through it. I'm talking to a couple of people that are going through it. They say, you know what it is? I said at some point. My brother said he said it at 30. Right. I finally realized that I had to understand that woman that's masquerading as my mother. Okay.
Mhm,
And then
mhm,
you have to get to the point where you understand her, and then you can forgive her because she's only human. She's not any better or worse than anybody else, and that could happen to
mm,
anybody, and that's difficult.
mm. With my mom,
Uh
no, I held her responsible.
huh. I mean, she's
Uh,
responsible for what she did, but the thing
yeah,
is, she's still human, and that can any human can actually have that, do shit like that because we see some
Ye-
terrible things that humans do.
yeah, that was definitely true. But
Yeah.
she was conniving. She was
Okay.
like it was intentional, like what
Okay.
she did. Some other things.
Yeah.
So my last therapy was actually inspired by Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
And with me being in the Black Manosphere doing podcasts, and I was talking about my life, and people said, "Oh no, you've got a problem. You need to go to therapy for it." So the last one was
Yeah.
um, parentification,
Okay.
and
This is
that's a subset of narcissism.
okay.
Um, yep,
Yeah. Yeah. This is a question for you.
yep.
Is there any other way for me to verify I'm not on any social media other than YouTube? I don't mind coming up during class. I create a page for access to the class. Thanks, guys. Okay, well you have to, yeah, that's up to Theo. I mean, he has a reason for what he does. Theo's always
Mm.
has a good reason for what he does. So
So the reason I do this is because you have to have a community where people can share information. Now,
okay.
my group is private, so people can't just walk in and see what's going on.
Hmm.
So it is private, and it's almost all black men. I would say it's about 2% white men
Hmm.
and 98% black.
Okay.
But it's all men in particular. And then I'm a pretty strong admin on the site, and I have two other people monitoring as well. So you'll be fine. But the thing is that you need to go there, have a place to see other people be successful. That's the really big thing. You need to I have a community there established where people can see each other being successful and passing tests, and
Yeah.
also failures where they can communicate about their failures. And what I'm trying to do is demystify failure. As I say to many all the time to my students, and also I had to accept myself, success is built upon failure.
Hmm.
Actually built upon a ground foundation of failure.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you do not have failure, you'll never have success. So I always tell the students, you need to go and tell people that you're failing so that other people feel inspired and they know that it's okay to fail. And then I tell the students I failed too. So like when they fail a test like 2 or 3 times, like, oh, okay, I failed
Yeah.
that test too, 2 or 3 times. I'm still making lots of money. I don't care.
Yeah,
Um,
and the thing
you'll be
is,
fine.
when you fail, what did you learn? I always teach my kids that. Okay, and the first thing what I always tell people: take the test and fail it, and
Hmm.
see what's on it,
Yeah.
and then come back and learn. So don't be afraid of the test. Take the test
Yeah.
and fail it, and come back.
I say just don't mind it. It's okay.
Yeah,
Get it over with.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
right. Um, but this goes into the other problem that we're seeing with a lot of black men is
Mm,
that they think they have to be perfect in all areas.
yeah.
So they have to be the perfect, like, what can I say, solution architect for their mom and
Hmm.
for other women in their lives. And then in other areas wherever it might be, they have to have like the perfect answer, the perfect clothes, 10% body fat,
Yeah,
muscles,
yeah,
toned, everything. And
yeah.
I'm like what Kevin said, like, stop that. That's a caricature. You can't do that. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, because we've been taught. Most people have three strikes. A black man only has one, and that's what we've
Right.
been taught. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like we were born on like nightmare mode on a video game.
yeah, we were.
Yeah. It really I'm like, why? It's like it shouldn't be that way. We should be having lots of fun all the time. Like again, I grew up with mostly my white family.
Hmm.
I was never worried about having black skin. I was looked at it and said, like, this stuff is cool. You
Yeah.
guys burn all the time. You guys can't go outside in the sun. What's wrong with you? But you think something's wrong with me? I can play in the sun all day long. I don't have any problems. I don't get red. You guys get red. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Like,
Oh yeah. You ever
yeah.
slap a white guy on the back after they got sunburned and they
Oh
go,
yeah. No.
ah!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
My uncle, right? And
oh, that's funny.
when
What did he?
when my mom was like that too. I always
Yeah.
called her Peachy. She was like, I always said like you need SPF 50 in midnight. What's wrong with you? Like
Okay.
why are you so
She was.
white?
Oh, she was really pale, huh?
Oh, she was pale.
Okay. Red hair.
Like
She redhead.
ghost. No,
Oh, she was a ghost,
brown.
really? Okay, she was
Yeah,
brown,
she's
but she was
not
a
a
ghost.
ghost.
Oh yeah, white boys gonna call them ghosts. Believe it or not, white guys do not like very pale women. They really don't.
No,
Believe it or not,
no.
they don't.
My dad liked her, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Most
Yeah.
white guys. I mean, you have some like say like Pearl is what they call a ghost. Okay, and
Mm.
most white guys do not like what they call ghosts. Okay, they don't
So
like very pale white women.
when I saw Pearlie when she was talking, she's about from the same area of Chicago that my mom is, and she
Okay,
looks very similar to my mom when she
okay,
was like about that age.
okay.
Yeah.
Your mom wasn't a dude like Pearl, was she?
No, but
'Cause Pearl's a
she's
dude.
no, she's 5'5".
Yeah, okay, okay,
She was definitely like she would tell me about university and being a hippie and how much
okay.
she loved
Oh,
black men.
oh,
So,
okay.
in the
That's very
60s.
very similar to Pearl, but yeah, in that sense. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Guy Incognito says for the taco stand tax, Theo, web application firewall, do you prefer Google Cloud over Amazon Cloud? If so, why?
I prefer AWS,
Okay,
number one, but when we're talking about analytics, um, some security applications, machine learning, AI, Kubernetes,
hmm,
GCP tends to be the better platform. It's
okay,
not that you can't do either one, but it just tends to be better. It tends to be geared more towards it. So I think of GCP or the Google Cloud as being like the nerds cloud. It's no
okay,
thrills, but it gets it done, and
okay,
it's very effective and efficient.
okay. Yeah, well, that would make sense. That would make
Right?
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
no frills.
Yeah.
Not quite built on C completely, but it's no frills.
Yeah. It's no thrills. It just, but it gets it. I mean, it's amazing how effective the compute is. I can see how they run Google themselves or how they run YouTube. I can understand like the underlying infrastructure and how that cloud like applications work.
Well,
And it really makes sense. So I'll be teaching a lot of those concepts to these guys in the next 6 months.
okay, all right, all right.
Yeah. So yeah. So again, I want to say like the guys who are thinking about going into the class, you'll do well.
Uh-huh.
Um, I do lead you through. I do take you from zero to hero, which is
Okay.
the way of doing it. A lot of guys ask if they need to know math. You don't need to know math, but you need to know first how to use paste, copy and paste. That's
Okay.
one of the biggest things.
Okay.
I was like, do you know how to do copy and paste?
Yeah.
You don't.
Oh,
Um, do you know
well,
how to right click? Right.
okay.
And then do you know how to read?
Okay.
If I tell you to do instructions 1, 2, 3, I need you to do instructions 1, 2, and 3. I'm not playing around because
Okay.
you're dealing with a system, right?
Hmm.
And so if you're not following those rules, like
Yeah.
I can't help you.
No.
And
Yeah.
that's usually where we have the problems.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we got. That's it. BGS and KS helped a lot of blacks understand therapy is needed to unpack things as black
Mhm.
men. The world society want to shame us for yeah. In other words, you've been programmed a certain. That's why I always talk about how you're programmed, right? Okay,
Mhm.
how you. When I actually teach the matrix is the blue pill is about how you're programmed and
Mm, yep.
how do you do that programming. Okay,
Mm,
especially when you start seeing reality. That's why when I do charts, right? Astrological charts, right? I always do it
mhm,
from a Jungian perspective. What were you born with? Okay. What are
mm,
your triggers? What's your personality like? Okay, because it all matters, right? Okay, and then you can
Yep.
actually go into your shadow and dig stuff out. Okay, but the thing is, if you know
Yes.
what your base is, what the platform is, and then you can actually go back and see what was built on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I entirely agree. And for myself, I actually had to understand what the movements were at my birth
Okay.
and the movements of life around me for 10 years before I was born,
Right.
because they had a direct influence on how my life was.
Yeah.
And when I got to understand that and accept it, I can understand a lot of my actions when I was teenager to my
Yeah.
20s to going to
y-
Japan.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah. Once you see what your personality is like, you can see why you made certain decisions or have certain impulses.
Hmm.
I said,
Yeah.
Shannon says, do you teach cybersecurity?
Okay. So I'm a security expert
Yeah.
and I've been doing security for a long time. Now, the thing, Shannon, you have to understand is you can't just go into security because you need to know what you're securing. So you can't, like, for example, you're going to do server security, but you don't know how to configure servers. That makes no sense. So you usually have to choose an area first to understand, and then you can do security because you're actually going to be securing that. That's how that works.
Okay. Question: What are the best? What are what are the best tools to learn AI and best AI certification?
I would say at this point, it's better to just understand IT very deeply
Hmm.
and you need a use case for AI. Um, don't I'm not going to tell you that kind of stuff because it'll be, how can I say, um, it'll be like garnish on the side.
Okay.
It has no meaning. So I have to say, like, why do you want to learn AI? For what problem are you trying to solve with
True.
AI?
Yeah.
If you don't understand the problem, then there's no reason for you to be studying it. A lot of the students are coming in with regarding AI and they're thinking it's going to be a Terminator, like a T1000. I say no, it's Texas Instruments 82. It's a TI 82.
Yeah.
That's about it. You're really not having a lot there in AI. So stop thinking about that. Think about traditional IT and how to be proficient there, particularly in the cloud.
Yeah. Could be IT is the body of the AI. Okay. So it's just when you're the
Yeah.
doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Duck Dissident. I'm a current student in Theo Waff's class, 2X AWS certified, and going for a third. He delivers the content and facilitates
Oh,
mentorship among the brothers. Theo actually simplifies a lot of stuff. So
hmm.
you
Thank
know,
you, Dad.
yeah.
Yeah, I know him. Of course, he's one of my best students. He's very good at Terraform. So, yeah, I teach the idea of it, of like how to approach it and how to approach problem solving, and then why you're doing it, why the
Hmm.
purpose is. Now, of course, a lot of the students have a problem with what's called imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I always tell them, of course, when I was doing when I was doing IT in the beginning, I was in Japan.
Hmm.
And if I didn't, for many times, if I didn't have that job, I didn't have a visa.
Okay.
So I didn't have time for imposter syndrome. I had to perform, you know, I had to work because I had to renew my visa. And I always tell them, I say, you have English, you have this is your country, you have everything here. You've got Google, YouTube, you have all these resources. You can get books for free, you can
Yep.
pirate stuff,
Yep.
you can go into the cloud and get a $200 or $300 credit to do your labs. You've got everything. Enjoy what you have. Go for it. Okay. Don't have this imposter syndrome. You're blessed with many resources. I didn't have any of this stuff when I was starting out. It was perform or die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perform or be deported and go back to Keisha in the States.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't work.
I
What
won't
do I
work.
have to do?
What do I have to do? Okay, I can't
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah. There's
Don't
no
put
way
me
I'm
back
going back.
in. So it says
Yep.
AB says, Theo, what are your thoughts on .NET framework?
Yeah, I like the .NET framework. Of course, I started with Visual Studio,
Hmm. Oh, okay. Old
.NET.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was basic guy, and then I went to C Sharp, of
Okay.
course, with .NET. So yeah, I'm a minute. Look, I've got one of my books down here. Hold on. Let me get this. See, .NET Security.
Oh, well,
course.
I remember that book.
Yeah, it's a good book, right?
It is. It is. I
Yeah.
remember that book. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely do it. I actually do it more for code review
Okay.
now than actually programming. I don't actually really program anymore, but I do look at. I have to go look through and see whether or not somebody screwed something up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And then you gotta ready to scan it and find mistakes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, normal stuff. Let the scanner work. Oh, I'm working, manager. Yeah, I'll sit here. I'm in the black manosphere talking to people. Yeah. So yeah, but I get the results, and that's where I actually have to do my analysis and actually apply the sauce. That's how it works.
All right. All right. So you said okay. I don't know exactly what you wanted to do on this. You just want to talk, or you just want to just describe what you do. What you
Sure.
No.
I'll describe what I do.
No. What I'm saying is that I don't. You said you want when Jules actually said you want to present something, but the thing is, I'm perfectly fine talking to you. So
Okay. Yeah, it's better just to talk. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
So some of my students might pop up so
Okay. If
I
you
don't
got
know if they're going to.
if you guys want to pop, if one of Theo's students wants to pop up and pop in, just put your email in. I'll send you the link because I don't want to really open it up per se unless Theo's comfortable with that. But things we get other people in, so I want to kind of keep it kind of walled off, kind of fenced off right now. But go ahead, Theo.
So So again, my approach is to not teach too much theory in the beginning.
Okay.
And to make the students do.
Okay.
And I'm just like do this, do that. And
that's very Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, it's very Japanese. I actually got that from them.
Okay.
And it's like later on do the theory. And the reason is because when, of course, I went to University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana.
Okay.
There in computer science classes, they would be teaching us, but we would barely do anything until the end. So the entire semester there would be like all this trepidation, like are we doing it right? What's going on? And we do some programming, but it was a lot of fear until the end. And I'm like, get rid of that. Just do it now, and then see what's going on with you now.
Are we gonna call you Mr. Miyake, right? Wax on, wax off, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what it is. Like I don't necessarily tell them why they're doing it.
Yeah,
I know why, but I'm just saying, do this again, and like do this code, do this server deployment, do it again. Think this is what you have to do for security. Just do it, and they'll ask me like, why is it? What's the purpose? I'm like, I'm not telling you.
Oh,
you just do it. Just keep on doing it again and again and again, and then make them do it in different situations. And then after about 2 months or 3 months, we go to automation. I'm like, this is why I'm telling you to do it. This is the real purpose. And by then they're fine. They're so used to it's like they have muscle memory. They're so used to actually performing tasks that they're asking about how to do it in a quicker fashion. Not that they have to do it, but they know that's what they do.
Okay.
So it's cool.
In other words, you learn to actually do the skill and then learn the why. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Like I said, that's why I called him Mr. Miyake, right? But he did the same thing with the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Why do I have to paint the car? Why do I have to wax the car? Why do I have to do this way?
Yeah.
And then he showed him at the end, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really my philosophy. Just obey what I'm saying right now. It's cool. Just trust me. You'll get through it.
Okay. I said, I'm currently pursuing a degree in electrical power and technology. How can I tie what you teach with that?
Okay. So I have to give him a nerdy thing. Okay. So
I told you weren't human, man.
No, not exactly. So Alex, okay, if you're doing electrical power, right? Let's look at this right here. We got first course on computational physics and object-oriented programming with C++, right? Think about this book. So you're using tech in physics. Well, you're also using C++ and C with engineering. So if you are doing this, if you're doing this kind of engineering, you should already be using programming in order to achieve your goals, which means you're doing this on a server you're doing this some sort of application. So the cloud's just an extension of the server environment. That's it. So when my point is, you should be able to somewhat be able to answer that question, because you should already be using programming in order to achieve your engineering goals, electrical engineering goals, or any kind of electrical goals as well. So all it is a tool, same kind of thing. You might make an application. You might want to put that onto your phone, something like that. Who knows how you're going to do it?
Yeah, you got to have a use case because
Yep.
it's a tool. Okay. It says a guy Incognito said, "What is the best way to study and prepare for AWS Cloud Practitioner test?"
You said what the best way to prepare?
Yeah, and study. Yeah.
Just keep on doing the labs again
Okay.
and again and again.
Okay.
Just constantly do it and
muscle
read.
memory. Huh? Yeah, muscle memory.
Yeah, the big thing with them with CCP, the big thing is understanding the line between what is responsibility of the service provider and the responsibility of the customer. And in the book that I use for that class, there's over 100 pages devoted towards this.
Okay.
And I make the students just read it through. And it's boring. For me, it's kind of obvious what the differences are.
Okay.
But if you don't understand it, you'll fail that test. Forget it. You will not make it. Yeah.
Okay. And see, Christian says, "How do you feel about who question them?" Okay, motives, goals, training, manosphere. Why are people committed to you failing? Okay. You probably have to ask them.
How do you feel about
the people who malign your goals, motives, and goals of training the Black manosphere?
Okay.
And why are people committed to you failing?
Okay, so again, Christian.
Oh, we know who these people are because okay. I know you're talking about, and basically, okay, they call the Highlander syndrome. That's what Edward Anderson calls it, right? They want to be king, okay? They want you to come to them, okay? And I am the person that said, I don't care who you go to, as long as you get what you need. Who's the most effective at getting you what you actually need, okay? I don't care about supremacy. I don't care about who's on top. I am purely black pill, right? I want results, okay? Do I care? Like with Kevin, like Kevin took like 3 or 4 things that I came up with, right? How come I didn't say anything? Because I wanted him to actually carry the message. It's about results. It's not about getting credit. Okay. Theo's the same way. Yeah. Results.
I'm very much the same way. And again, on a shout out to Christian, he was at the Mumia Obsidian Aliyah experience in Philadelphia in 2022.
Okay.
He was on a podcast arguing with one of these twerps about this kind of stuff. And the thing that he described my course as like a work study program, like for a guy, an inmate who came out, like just showing him what exactly was necessary to do to get into the workforce.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody else like tried to tear into him over that. And I was like, no, Christian, you're entirely correct. It is more like a work study program. And I know because my dad, when I was growing up, my dad used to fix TVs and he would have inmates who were in the halfway house working for him.
Yeah.
And I saw what he had them do. And it didn't inspire me. Actually, the Japanese more inspired me. But my dad would always say, this is what you do, like a checklist.
Yeah.
And then those guys, when they got released, they went on and went into electronics.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good old fashioned apprenticeship. That's what it really is. Yeah.
That's what it is. Exactly. It's an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
That's what I would really think about.
If you want mastery, that's the best way to learn, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So I took my model more from the Japanese and the Germans. And then I looked at Black men specifically and how they learned. So let me give you this little story that's quick. Give me about 1 minute to do this. So I was teaching the CISSP in Japan, and I had 3 groups of students. I had Japanese students, and then I had white Europeans, not white Americans, but I had white Europeans. And then I had Black Americans, and almost all the Black Americans were GIs, like former military. All right. And I was teaching them, and the thing that struck me was, I mean, unlike anything I had heard before, all of my Black students were the most intelligent students.
Okay.
They were the most capable. They understood security regulations forwards and backwards, particularly if it was based on military principles. Those guys were hot. They knew exactly what I was saying.
Mm.
Whereas the Japanese and white Europeans were like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, no, this is really how it works. Then when it came to the test, the black students rebelled against me and said
Really?
that I was wrong. Yeah. But my white European and Japanese students followed everything that I said for the test.
Mm.
And what happened was my least skilled students became certified.
Mm.
And my highly skilled students were not certified.
Mm.
And I never lost that thought. I was like, okay, why is that my best students who are black don't get the certification? And I thought about that about 10 years.
Mm.
Tried to figure it out. And I said, what needs to happen is that they need to be all in a group by themselves, and they need to have repetition.
You know who said that years ago?
Who?
It was actually what's his name? Monahan said the exactly same
Oh.
thing. Black men need their own, because of their trauma, because of what they've went through. They need their own classroom. They need their own schooling, separate
Yep.
from everybody else. I think he's
Yep.
right. Theo, I can't read this. If you can see that, okay. This is from Passport OG.
Okay, so Theo Sensei が厳しいけどすごく面白い。すごく面白い。そうだよね。ありがとね。So it says, Teacher Theodore is a bit cruel, however, rather interesting.
Okay. I knew you could. That's why he put it up there. That's Passport OG. He's in Japan right now. He's been in Denver for 3 years.
It's Carice in class. It's hard for me to like look at him in the eyes because he's sitting where I want to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm giving you like basically a free class, and you get to walk out and be in Japan, and I'm still here. So
what made you leave?
yeah, my Japanese wife died.
Oh,
and yeah, so I was absolutely miserable over that.
okay.
And then my company went bankrupt basically, and I had to sell my house in order to give my employees their last like 3 months of salary.
Okay.
It's just as a gesture.
Okay.
So I lost pretty much everything, and I was just miserable every single day for like about 2 years.
Okay. And
I was like, okay, I have to go back to the United States. So I did, and then I crashed in the United States. So when I came back to America, I was homeless for a while.
Wow.
And I had cancer.
Oh. Okay.
It was actually during this time period that I formulated my total plan about how I was going to approach the American market and how to deal with companies, and like I dealt with them as people. Basically, I went red pill with companies first.
Okay.
And then I was moving. I went from blue pill to somewhat red to black, and then to red pill.
Okay. So you went through the dark night of the soul.
Oh, it was dark.
It was dark.
2 years. Yeah. I don't even want to remember. Like sometimes I remember parts of it. I'm like, no. And I wrote it out as I was going.
Yeah.
I wrote my experiences because I knew when I became normal,
Okay.
I would never accept what happened to me. I would think it was some sort of fantasy. And I read it back now, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad I wrote it down because it was horrible.
It's horrible, but you learn a lot when you're down in the depths. Yeah.
You learn a lot in the cave.
Yeah, you do. You do. Ninja person, what's going on?
BGS, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. You're Ace Boone Coon. What's going on?
Ace Boone Coon. Listen, I'm a plebeian, man.
I know who this person is.
You know who this is. Hey, what's up, Mook? What's popping?
So they call me Mookie in class. Yeah. So I never had a black name.
Yeah, exactly.
Mookie is pretty black, okay?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like, Theo's probably told you a story, right? But like biracial. So he's been raised on the white side. So now he's helping all these brothers. We're like, okay, we gotta help him out somehow. So, put some Lowies in his seasoning or something.
I've never had it. We were not.
You never heard
Oh.
Lowry's seasoning?
No, no.
Oh,
See,
okay.
the crazy thing is I've had seasoning in Russia, France,
Mhm.
Japan, Korea, China, India, like that, right? But
Yeah.
I've never had real seasoning in the United States.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know.
You never had Lowry seasoned salt? That's
I
like
know.
basic. That's basic.
Because I had that white side, so it just, you know, seasoning would be like an avocado topping, something like that.
Yeah, the potato salad is better on the black side. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, don't get me started about white people with potato salad. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Like, okay, can I go to like Dad's house? Can I go to Dad's house? Because they can do potato salad.
Better. Let me read the super chat. Said Theo, I finished Purdue Cybersecurity Fundamentals Micro Credentials course in December. You just said I should get the BS. What would you do in my situation? I say you should actually get it because when they start cutting people, okay, they start looking at things. So I'm saying is now if you're skilled and they know that you're skilled, you've established yourself, right? Okay, that's one thing. The thing is, don't take anything for granted, especially in this environment, right? If you can get a BS, get a BS, okay? Because that's going to help you when
Mhm.
when the money people come looking and start looking at the ledgers, okay? They're going to look for things like that. So I would say get all the training that you can possibly get, especially coming into this environment, because the cream will rise to the top. Things you want to make sure you're one of those people.
So let me go ahead and comment that. Of course, Purdue is a competitor with me in the Big Ten.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so my first instinct is to say something that is I shouldn't probably say, but that's because that's what we say at the Big Ten. We're particularly cruel with each other. Purdue is a very good program. I hate to say that, but it's actually extremely good. You need to finish your university degree there because many companies in California specifically hire from the Big Ten or public Ivy in the Midwest. And you will be on a very good projection to actually do your career. You need to get additional certifications afterwards. You can't just stop. That's where you start. Purdue is where you start. But you will be in an excellent position compared to other people. So I would say for you in particular, go hard, go deep. You will be successful. You have something that is very valuable. So continue. Don't stop.
Yep. Get check as many boxes as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, and he has a good box to check. I can't check it because I'm not Purdue. I'm Illinois. I'm Champaign-Urbana. So I'm not going across state lines.
But Champaign-Urbana is where some of this stuff actually started. So you actually
right,
ground
exactly.
floor Champaign-Urbana. I remember that back in the day.
I remember Andreessen. I remember Andreessen when I was undergrad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a really big tech school. So again, you're Purdue. Do that. Get it. Go graduate. Don't even stop. Don't let anybody deter you.
Yep. Let's see. Yes, in Theo's class, earned 3 AWS certs from his resume advice, landed a senior cloud security engineer job, exceptional teacher. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Coming in.
Nah, Prince. If that's Prince, Prince is Prince is in the class, and he works public sector. So he got a government job.
Oh, okay. Got a pension.
Yeah. He's big chilling right now. Yeah. But of course, we're working at Theo. He's like, nah, we want better. So, well, that's only the start.
So Prince is going to be making $250,000. He's not saying it. He's pulling his punches. I know. So he doesn't have all his public information there. So I can actually say that. But he's going to be one of the students making $250,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's also always outside hours.
Yes.
It's called overemployment.
I don't know about that, but I no comment.
Oh, I forget. Yes, we can't discuss those things. So.
Yeah, we can't discuss it. That's for the conclave.
That's for the conclave.
Conclave or behind the wall.
Behind the wall. Yeah.
There's a reason why I established the conclave. That was really specific because there were some things I just couldn't say on TV, like I couldn't say on YouTube. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a conclave.
I'm currently doing IT online via Global University. I have 40 credits remaining. Will your course help me improve my understanding and gets through my online courses better. The thing is that Theo teaches hands-on, okay? And the best way to learn is always, of course, hands-on, okay? It's the old school way of learning.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hands-on, so it's not going to be so much theory. It'll be more theoretical in the end, but
All
in
the
the beginning, no.
all the people that designed this shit, man, going back to the like Gates and all these folks, they're actually hands-on. It wasn't where they went to
Yeah.
class and read a book. They got in there and got their hands dirty.
Yeah, it's always the prompt. Like,
Yeah.
are you actually on the prompt? Are you doing things? So, I mean, Ninja Person, of course, he's my like number 2 lieutenant in the class. He prevents me from killing students from time to time because I get frustrated. So,
no, Masa, no.
Yeah, it's more like.
No, I don't beg him. I say, hey, chill out, bro. And he's like, all right, let me stop.
Okay, yeah.
Give him a pass, Mookie, this time, all right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we need this guy for the future. Chill out, bro. And I'm like, I got you. I'll step in. I'll massage it, all that shit. But good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as again, Ninja Person knows. So when I'm teaching, I usually use traditional methods for doing things as much as I can, the fundamentals that come from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And sometimes other students will be like, this is how we do it now, or like, this is a more efficient way of doing it. And I have to sit back and it's like, my first idea is like, you heathen, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. It's this old school way. And I had to stop and say, no, Theo, this is how they do it now. They want to do it in this more effective manner. I do it an old way. Let them do it, and like be proud of them and support them. I'm like, okay, so that's what I do. And then, Ninja Person's there to make sure that I don't kill somebody. Right? So they do it, and I'm like, okay, fine, all right, good for you. Okay, good. I would never do it that way, but I understand. Okay, good.
Okay. And so Money Motion says, I'm working as an accountant now, and I want to combine it with Theo's teachings. Any ideas of how these skill sets can blend? BGS tax in effect.
Okay, so you can make your own application. You can use databases if you want to. You can write an algorithm basically for accounting. There's plenty of Python-based applications that you can use within the cloud.
Yeah.
In order to help you become a more effective or automated accountant.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure, you can do that.
There's a couple of people that are working in the financials, right? And especially with retirement, crypto, stuff like that, the back end, right in the back end, or even right in the front end to these things, man. So your accounting skills will be helpful understanding money. Yeah.
So it can't hurt you. That's what I say on Money Motion. It will not hurt you.
Yeah,
it'll definitely enhance you.
Yeah, banking is one of back in the day, man. Banking was the first thing that actually boosted IT, how to bank and how to trade money and that kind of stuff. So it's
still COBOL.
COBOL, yeah.
COBOL, it's still there, and they can't get rid of it. So
no, they cannot.
Yeah.
I'll chime in on this as well. What I'll say is, there are a bunch of finance guys and former tax accountants and CPAs in the class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's thinking, oh, I'm in the class now, and then they keep thinking I'm going to do what Theo does. Mm-hmm. And I personally like to say, you as a totality of a human, you bring your experience to the class, right. and you can figure out your own path. The cloud technology is just one tool in order to accomplish what you want to do. Yeah. So if you bring your finance knowledge or your accounting knowledge, and then you put the cloud next to it, there's going to be a space where you need to secure a fintech application.
Yeah,
and that's your lane.
Fintech is huge, man. Fintech is huge and growing faster than anybody can actually keep up with. It's huge.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And again, let's expand more about what Ninja Person is saying. On this tool, you have to use it with the way that your heart wants to use it, and with your path in life. It can't be my path, because my path has some jaded parts to it, and it's definitely very big international. And I have like wars that I'm fighting still in my head over Japan. So you don't want to necessarily do my path. You want to do your path where you're comfortable, where you want to be successful, and then just take my teaching as inspiration to set you in the right way. And you're going to, over time, you're going to get other tools. You're going to be with other people, and I'm going to be in the past, but you're going to blossom someplace else. And I want you to do that. I don't want you to be with me all the time. I want you to be going forward. And then, just send me a postcard and email later on and tell me what you're doing. I'm like, okay, cool.
Is this one of yours?
Yes, that's me. Yeah, it's one of mine. Yeah. Good guy.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in Sao Paulo right now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Passport, bro. Yeah. So he's with the Japanese. I'm pretty sure he's with the Japanese Brazilians down there. Yeah.
If somebody that said ninja person is rich,
they are bullshit.
Actually, ninja person.
Very lie.
Yeah. No, we always kid him about that because he's he's now tied for the most skilled certification in the class.
Okay.
But he has the ability to what we call speech ops. So he can definitely explain what he does in both his normal job and at AWS. And we know how much he's making. Well, I'm not going to say, but he's worth a lot more than what he's getting paid right now. So we're encouraging him to go get that $300,000 because that's what he's worth minimum.
Okay.
Yeah. We got work to do.
You got to get rid of that imposter syndrome, man.
That's why I watch BGS videos, man. That's why. What the key video for everyone? I think it was more value, light, and attention. It was like 6 years ago. Yeah.
I
watch it.
Yeah.
I said, Hurricane Greg said, "What is the cost of the course? How long does the computer course run for?"
Okay, so the course that I'm starting today, is the second half of the course that started last year in September. And usually my course is 1 year. So this is GCP. It's $175 for 6 months, and that includes your lab fees. Then the lab fees that I have to incur for your IAM environment for your DevSecOps.
Oh, that's very reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Before it was free. The first 4 classes were free.
Okay.
They didn't pay anything. Then after the Black Manosphere Conclave, I'm doing AWS again, and that'll be AWS for 1 year. And that'll be $350.
Well,
same kind of setup.
Oh, that's really yeah. That's dirt cheap, really.
Considering that classes 1 through 4 were free, they didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, yo, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's almost really charity for the most part. This out of goodness of your heart.
Yeah. So basically, I was having a lot of, again, going back to the people who wanted me to fail. I had a lot of pressure, to be honest, and I knew that if I couldn't get these guys into jobs and get them certified, that I would be the laughing stock in the Black Manosphere. So I was like, there's no way. And I had full confidence in my students to go out and get those jobs. So from when I was in Brazil, I just kept on teaching them to death. Kept on teaching multiple classes every week, just kept on teaching them. And what happened was the first student who got a job, I taught him how to do it. He went from 60,000 to 320,000 in 1 month.
Wow.
He did it with 1 certification, just a CCP. The next guys, they got CCP and SAA, which is Solutions Architect Associate. They went to SAA even without me teaching it. They just went and popped that one out.
Okay.
And then they got above 150 each. Like they just started getting the jobs. I was teaching them how to do it. And they just started doing that. So it just started to be like one after another. And when that happened, it gave a morale boost to the group.
Yeah.
And I was sitting back and I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is going to happen. I just have to keep on putting more and more time into the students. And that's what I did. So class 3 happened, class 4 started having way more students. What we have right now is every student who kept on going and kept on being active in class 1, they all have 6-figure jobs.
Wow. Okay.
Every one of them.
Can't do
So
better than that.
yeah, right. And I look at my detractors. I spent over $80,000 altogether for the Manosphere, either the meetup or the conclave, and for other activities. And though people say I shouldn't have done it, and I was like, look what I did.
Yeah,
My students,
help
my
change the
students,
world. Yeah, help change the
yeah.
world.
So the marginal increase in salary after my classes is a minimum of $5 million so far with my students. That's just marginal increase in salary. And I'm looking and I'm like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Show me what you did.
Yeah.
Tell it to me. I want to know what you did.
Scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me a scoreboard.
Yeah. And it says, don't chime in often. I'm a serious pookie and I need help. I will seek out Theo's class. ABW seem to work with us because they feel stuck with us. You know what? Because guess what? For ABW, I always say this, right? Okay.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
They have no place else to go, right? And that's one thing about the Passport Bros is proven, right? A man is a man is a man is a man in most countries, right? Especially in developing countries. Okay, okay. You're literally, I say, God on earth, right? According to them, right? Because you're buying for 10 cents on the dollar, right? Okay. Women are sellers. Okay. It doesn't work well the other way. Women will not sell for 10 cents on the dollar. They will not, and they can't. And black women cannot. They're so used to black men in this gynocracy, right? And being the top dog and being, having the United States and its forces kind of push down on black men and keep us under control. Okay. Outside of that, you don't have the same constrictions. Okay. No, you don't have people keeping your man in check. Okay. And so that guy that the African over there, or in Gambia or Ghana or Tanzania or Kenya or Uganda, okay, you start pointing your fingers at him, jump up in his face. You can't call 911. It don't work that way. Okay.
Exactly.
There's no place, there's nobody to pull that guy off. You have to be coming respectful, and you're not used to that. You're used to your black man, the way you trained him to support you and uplift you and service you, do all this emotional labor for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And, on that point, again, in the class, kind of I've been teaching over 2 years now, the students, one of the things I noticed that some of my students basically want to see the U.S. burn. And they're sick of it.
I understand it. Yeah, I understand it.
I understand it.
I understand it. But the thing is that it's one of those things that it's like you're inside the boat. I mean, and in fact, one of my co-conspirators, one of my co-persons in not a black man, but in the pro-black sector, right before he died, Brother D-Don, he said that, and said if you want white supremacy to end, you're gonna have to sacrifice 50 million black people. If you want to do that, you can bring it down because you're inside the belly of the beast, right? If you want it to burn, you're gonna have to got to burn inside with it. Okay. I don't think that's necessary. Okay. Me personally, I say everything it will evolve. Okay. It's already evolving. In fact, I was getting messages today about white supremacy and dominance, all that kind of stuff about it ending. And which is something I said back in 2007, but that's more behind the wall talk. The thing is, I understand your sentiment, but the thing is, do what you do, make your stuff shine, live your life, and then let whatever happens. Okay, don't even worry about that. Your thing is to get away from it and live your best life.
I understand it. Yeah, I mean, so when I left the United States, I finally felt as a human being, and when every time I come back, it's horrible. It's really hard for me to.
You feel it, yeah. As soon as you walk outside the airport, you feel the weight go down on your shoulders, yeah.
And the thing that I felt was, I was like, at least I was half black, like at least I had some white protection, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, how, like my brothers who are full black, what are they doing? How are they dealing with this? And I was just in wonderment because I was like, I'm half black. Of course, I'm feeling pressure,
Yeah.
but I still have a white shield,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I can leave. I just based upon the pressure I have, I left. I wasn't
Yeah.
going to deal with that. And I was like, how do you do this every day? And
Yeah.
then have Keisha yelling at you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yes.
what?
Oh yes. Yeah, yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
No.
And they yell because they think they can. So that sign language, that is standard practice. How you keep people under
In,
control.
in check, yeah, under control. Exactly. I look at this. This is horrible. It's just a horrible situation. So when I see some of the students that want the U.S. to burn, sometimes I want to say something. I'm like, no, Theo, like
Yeah.
that's a legit feeling.
Yeah.
Let them feel that way, because if they're inspired to work harder,
Yeah.
and then they get the certification, they learn some language, and then they're on a one-way ticket to Cartagena or Sao Paulo, more power to them. Because I was on a one-way ticket to Tokyo,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what I did.
Yeah.
And look at my life. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, bro, I understand you.
There's ways out. There's ways out. So salute to BGS and salute to Theo Waff. Quick question: what IT field or course would you recommend for someone who wants to get into the field?
It matters what you want to do. That's what I'm always going to say to you. What is your heart? What do you want to do? And then what pays? So a lot of students come in and they want to do front end. And I told them, I say, I do not support front end. I do not do a front end because it's a red ocean. It's it's a lot of work, a lot of demand. You're going against Indians who can work at $400 a month. You can't do that. And nearly everyone can do it. You can do automated tools with it. So why would I teach you that when you're never going to make like over $30,000 a year doing at least basic front end? How are you going to pay your bills?
Yeah.
Right. So I say to you guys, follow your heart and then understand what pays. So when I started doing IT, I started working at Deutsche Bank in Japan. And I was doing Active Directory and audit of systems. And my first wage was actually $1,000 a month. I did that for 3 months. And then I said, I don't like this. I like networking. I like Cisco. And I went into Cisco, and I had my first job was $50,000 a year. So I went from $1,000 a month to $50,000 a year in basically 3 months. But my heart was in it. I loved networking. I love Cisco networking. And then I was like, I want to do network security. So then I went from $50,000 a year to $85,000. And then I was like, I want to be a CISSP, which is Certified Information System Security Professional. And I got it. I was the 5th CISSP in Japan. I was the first foreigner. And I got it. So then my salary went to $120,000. And that all that progression happened in 2 years, 3 months all together, right? But the thing was, guys, I followed my heart on every single stage, where every single step. I said, what do I want to do? What is good for me? And I just kept on doing that. There are guys who are totally into database architecture, particularly Oracle. They do it. That's what they do. So they're making money. They're making $200,000, $300,000 a year doing that. So I always say to you, again, Alex, I say, you have to understand what's in your heart. And until you understand that, just keep on reading about it. Maybe take some Udemy's. If you want to take my course, fine. You're definitely welcome. But you ultimately have to understand what's in your heart, or you will never progress as a professional or as an individual.
Because you won't like doing it. Yeah.
Right. You'd be like, I'm not doing this. I'm not waking up. Like, I wake up in the morning, I go to work happy because I'm doing my hobby.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it.
Okay. Yep. Philip says, Theo Waff, salute. Okay. I'm in hospitality. How can I integrate Python or cybersecurity into my field?
In hospitality?
Everything has a database. Everything has information, because everything's electronic. So hotels have a back end. Hotels have a finance system. Hotels have a registry system. Okay. You want to get into that kind of stuff? Yeah. There's always a back end to every computer, to every system.
So you would actually be doing the back end. So you'd be looking at applications and then monitoring of applications, IAM within those applications. That's what it would be. But what I would say to you, Philip, is, again, thank you for the super chat. get the tools and then follow your heart in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So understand the systems that hotels are using or other hospitality industry environments. I don't know that because I'm not a hospitality person. I'm finance, medical, insurance. That's where I excel. So I know those systems really well. So learn the tools and then figure out how you can do a value add. Figure out how you can specialize, do a blue ocean action, and then you'll make lots of money.
Mind if I jump in here?
Yeah,
sure,
please
go
do.
ahead.
So, in addition to what BGS and Theo were talking about, for the hospitality example, one thing you could go into is physical security, cameras, man trap, badge systems. That like it seems rudimentary, but that's an aspect of security that people really need to consider if they want to make sure that the customers at the hotel have a nice experience. Like ultimately you're in hospitality, you're trying to make sure that people have a safe, secure, and pleasant experience. So you need to make sure that people who need to be in there can get in, and people who don't need to be there have to be keep them out.
Security is very important in hospitality.
Exactly. So if you can if you have, there are ways to go about it, but I would search up like physical security, man traps, bollards at the front, you could do IoT, Internet of Things, for cameras and Ethernet, power over Ethernet cameras and things of that nature. But there are a multitude of options. So
registration, booking, registration and booking, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of ways to get into IT. But basically, the hotel business actually runs on IT for the most part.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
It's all over the world. Like just what is it? What do they call that? Where you actually rent people's houses and rooms and stuff like that.
Airbnb.
Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
All IT. That's
IT.
hospitality. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go next one. Remo.
Yeah. Okay. Theo, Tech's beacon, skilled and guide, brightens many futures far and wide. Each lesson, wisdom spread, great teaching and action and words said. Okay, thank you, Remo.
Thank you. Very poetic.
So I need to say this, man. So BGS, for me and all the stuff that I do on the front end, where like I just talk to the people. Remo does the heavy lifting on the back end. He's one of the technical experts in the class. So like, he does a bunch of heavy lifting. And for example, right, we use a tool in the class called Terraform.
Okay.
And that tool is used to automate what you can do in the cloud. Mr. Remo took it upon himself to start his own class off of what Theo's teaching, so that he could explain the grassroots of this Terraform tool that we're using. Because as you said, Theo does the Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, just do it.
Okay.
Yeah. But some students weren't catching on. So that's why Remo took his time to create a whole class so that he could explain the finer aspects or the core aspects of the code and how to apply it, so that people could then create more robust entries and usage of Terraform with the cloud providers that we're going to use. So really, shout out to Remo for what he's doing, because I can't do it.
I don't. That's well stated. So again, for the Terraform, I'm just going to give you an example, and I'm going to be like, this value, change it in this environment. Like, don't change this, but change it here. Only change here. Only change here. And then these are the values that you could have. These are options, but everything else don't change. And there are students who want to know about everything else, and I'm like, stop that. Like, don't go into it, because it's just too long. We don't have all day. Like, you need to get in front of in front of a company and start interviewing. I need you to know what to change and what not to change. And so Remo does it all. teaches
Yeah,
all of it.
you get the theory later. Okay.
Yeah. I'm much more like get the theory later. Again, we're going to do GCP, maybe do a little bit more on the theory then.
Mhm.
But for now, I need you to understand why you're doing your basic changes.
Mhm.
So yeah, he does it. Also, Remo, for example, when I'm about to kill a student over like over imposter syndrome. So I'm looking at this student, and the student is actually very good, intelligent, and can do the work. So I'm like, this student is about 135,000 beginning pay,
Okay.
but the student has imposter syndrome,
Okay.
and so they're spending a lot of time on there instead of doing the work, and I want to strangle the student, right? And there's a technical thing that needs to be done, that needs to be proven.
Mhm.
Jay will go out and do that for me. He'll give me the technical works that I need while I'm dealing with imposter syndrome and literally wanting to go kill someone. So like I'm gonna go Wade Brady on you. Okay. Do I need to go choke? Like, okay, stop. Don't go choke him.
Down, Mookie. Down, Mookie.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, calm down. So I'm actually having this issue because I'm like, I really respect you and I really think that you're a great student and you have a great mind.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to yourself? Like, stop it.
Yeah, they're
So
afraid
again,
of fear of failure. Yeah.
Rima comes in at those times, really helps out. I just want to say a shout out real quick to I think it was Big the Fisher. I forgot one of my good students in here. He gave like a $5 super chat, and he's
appreciate you.
yeah, he is one of my best students. Big Mac the Fisher. He came from an area where you would never think you would ever work in IT.
Mhm.
And right now, he's not only six figures, he's well over $200,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
And he's leading the resume reviews for me, helping people like actually do their LinkedIn and their resumes. Because I'm teaching so much, I can't do resume review anymore. So he's helping in that environment. I'm like, really good. Thank you for giving back, and thank you for continuing on. You're one of my best students. So keep it going, man.
Let the dust spread, man.
Yeah.
Let the dust spread. Said Dr. Marifa. He's actually in Australia, and he does trade law. Okay, so Dr. Marifa. So he's actually from Kenya, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So appreciate you for the session today. Thanks, Theo, for the very interesting insights, including on your method and principles behind your practice of teaching and pedagogy. Big lessons today. Appreciate you, Doc.
Yeah. Any time. Yeah. I have a very specific way of doing this. Again, it is tailored more for Black students. And what I always tell my students, why is it that Keisha can get this job so quickly and I know she's not qualified?
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring somebody over from India when you can do my level of training and I'm paying with my own money. Like I spent $80,000 and I'm getting this effect. Like I'm looking at the government saying, what's wrong with you people? Right? Yeah. Like, why can't you do this as effectively as I am? Because I think I'm doing a pretty good job on this.
You're doing very good. Well, this is the old-fashioned way of doing it. It's called apprenticeship.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. In fact, I have a friend of mine. She's worth about 20 mil or so in real estate. She's starting a course. I'm thinking about trying to point people to her course about buying and selling real estate. She's done it for like 30 years, and she basically does the same thing. You know, the hands-on.
Hands-on, yeah.
Tell you exactly how to do it. More like the Mr. Miyake principle. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's because then you're going to remember. That's it. And a lot of my students, like, I get to a theoretical position, and I'm like, this is something easy you can do in a theoretical point of view, and they can't do it. And I'm like, I have to do a lab with you on this for you to figure it out. Okay. So do the lab, and then they're like, all right, I got it. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right. I understand. Okay, gotcha.
And Black men are basically designed to do hands-on. We were actually raised and actually almost genetically sired to do that hands-on. Okay?
Yeah.
It's whereas other groups are not socialized to do or learn the same way. Okay, but Black men need to have hands-on. You have to show them. Okay, like my grandson when doing math, I have to actually do the equations with him, right? Show him the principles. Then after a couple times, he gets it. The theory doesn't ground in until he actually sees it in front of him. So black men do learn that way, and they do.
Yeah.
So you're effective. You hit on the right method. Okay, said Blunder Rob says I'm in the group and suffer from procrastination. Tired of collecting courses and books. Any known drug advice? Drug advice? Just focus. Basically, to get out of procrastination, you basically, and this has come from my friend. She says, write everything down. Make sure you have a schedule. Okay, when you wake up in the morning, schedule yourself and look at your schedule constantly. Okay, that'll actually break through whatever procrastination that you're in. Okay, if you keep your schedule, write out your daily schedule and keep it in front of you. Okay, um, you won't procrastinate because you actually feel guilty about not doing it. You look at what you're supposed to do. I haven't done it, and you look at all the things that you haven't done. Eventually, we'll actually get into the mood of actually doing it. So that's what she says. You might start integrating some of this stuff. Yeah.
I always look at the pain level. And I'm like, well, go ahead and do a total crash, because that's what got me when I did a total 100% crash. I was like, oh yeah, I'm proactive right from here on now for the rest of my life, and that's the way it's always been. I just can't remember what low was. I never want to go back.
Well, you really don't want to visit the dark night of the soul more than once. That's what happened.
Oh, I mean, I was homeless. I was on the streets. Yeah, I mean, I was.
You and Tyler Perry, okay?
I mean, like people say, like, oh yeah, I was homeless. I was sleeping on somebody's sofa. I was like, no, man, I was behind. I wasn't even in the car. My car was repossessed.
Oh, really?
I was sleeping behind the trash cans.
Okay.
Or making sure my body was hidden at night so somebody couldn't kill me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that bad.
You're on the street.
Yeah, I was on the streets. Okay. Yeah, it was horrible. So I mean, I learned a lot from that experience.
Okay, Mookie, we've done this one. Okay, let's not do this again.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not do that again. Like, and then having cancer and then chemotherapy and walking home afterwards.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Oh yeah, self-reliance.
Yeah.
I got to a point. I was just like, make sure you have insurance. Be a part of the system. Make sure you have insurance so you can continue on.
Yeah. Shout out to Snowman. He had pancreatic cancer. He was supposed to die, but his wife, his white wife, believe it or not, pulled him through, right, when nobody else would. So shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her. Yeah.
That BGS is sister in arms.
He's an honorary black woman. Okay, we had that running joke.
Okay.
Hey Theo, Yeshua here. I see the gang is all here, and Jay Remo and I here to support as part of the great 300. Hoorah! Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna make it. He's pushing through, and it's taken a lot of time, but he's consistent. So Yeshua, I do see your consistency. I'm gonna say, just keep it going. Don't stop.
Yeah, if you need motivation, look at your bank account. Okay.
Yeah.
That will do it. Okay. Do you want to struggle to pay major bills? Okay. No. Then keep going. Okay. What's the alternative? Okay.
Well, so at least in the group, there's a lot of other black men who are successful now. Before, it was nothing, right? And so, I mean, at least there's other study groups. He leads a study group himself. So there's something you can do. You can be inspired. Yeah. But ultimately, my inspiration was, do I want to be like a waiter washing dishes with a master's degree, with Keisha telling me I ate ish? And I was like, no. I'll do anything to get out of that. So yeah, what do I have to do? Okay, let's study. Let's do that.
You got a cash app from James Wingate. Appreciate you, sir. And got a cash app from Aquatechy. Okay. Okay. Fellow techie. Okay. And OBJ. OBJ, I think it's OBJ. Appreciate you.
OBJ. OB Trice just got a cert that Theo doesn't have. So
really?
He's crushing it.
It's something Theo can't do, really?
It's something that Theo can do.
I just have asserted it.
But see, here's the thing, BGS. Theo will let himself burn out before he'll say that I'm gonna get it I'm gonna get it or die trying. Theo like 50 Cent.
Yeah. I just keep on going for it. So I didn't even know that cert was there. So it's a very new cert. So he got it.
Okay.
He's worth at least $500,000 right now.
Oh, wow.
Particularly with his technical skills, with his automation, along with the cert, with the architecture he can do.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to be trying to promote his career as much as I possibly can. By the conclave, I would definitely want him to be at $500,000.
And to be frank, he had no idea how valuable it was until during class Saturday, I shouted him out.
Okay.
And then Theo said, "You know how much that's worth?" The brother didn't even know. The brother didn't know the training he got. He didn't know that the training he got was worth $25K.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
So Theo students are qualifying for like high level training. They're getting these certs, and bank is down the road. So like, don't be surprised if you get like a few big cash apps in your future, BGS.
Okay. Hey, they're always welcome. Okay.
Yeah, like there'll be guys sitting on the beach, like in Brazil or Tanzania or something like that. They'll be like cash apping you $100. Like, yeah, that was just off the interest today for this 1 month from my assets. So I've got with cash flow, and I've got this other assets going on. Oh yeah, I've got this really great woman next to me too. She's submissive and she cooks for me and everything. It's great.
Theo, we got to get BGS down in Guatemala. All expenses paid.
Yeah, I think we should get BGS down. At least we should get a country, and we're like, okay, we're gonna be here for a while. You're our guest of honor, so we're gonna take you down there, and we'll have some fun. We'll have some good things. I have to do a little announcement first before we continue. 2 points.
Okay. Go ahead.
First guy, there was a guy who did a cash app and said that he wanted to learn languages, Russian and Japanese. How should he do that? Of course, my first answer is going to be go to university and learn the languages there. Get university books. If you can't do university, then get a language exchange partner.
Yes.
But university books are going to be the best way of doing it. Actually, don't use an app because you're just going to be functionally illiterate. Particularly in Japanese, you're just gonna be functionally illiterate. You do need to have book system. The second one is I'm on the Facebook group right now looking at requests. Of course, from your show BGS, many people are coming in and asking for information. You have to answer all the questions. The questions are there for a reason. So if your profile doesn't have a photo and you don't answer all the questions, we won't let you in. It's the way it is. It's asking 3 questions is not a hard thing to do. Please do that so that we don't have to reject you and actually have a little negotiation with you, a dance going back and forth. It's not that hard to do.
No. If you the thing is, what you're getting is well worth the little pain that you're going to get for a photo and answering 3 questions. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like one of the questions
go apply for a job and see what you have to go through. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So we want to know, for example, like, where did you come from? How did you know about us?
Yeah.
Right. That's a basic thing. All you have to do is say a word like, okay, BGS. Okay, I know who you are.
Yeah.
What pill are you? I'm red pill. I'm black pill. All right.
Yeah. So, you're one of us. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So shout out to BGS and Theo. Buy Bitcoin. Which IT subfields are the most culturally friendly to international remote work?
What are you? It doesn't. Matt, yo, stop. Don't think of it that way. Look, you're going to, all you're thinking about is what jobs or permit remote work. And you'll find that out more as you get your certifications and you specialize. And then what is the process of actually going to another country, and you can find that out more in the class as we go on. But that's usually understanding your visa requirements with the country's embassy where you want to go, your destination. So it's not so much of international remote work like that. It's because you're going to be working in the United States. So it's remote work from the United States. If you're actually talking about international remote work, you could be like, that could actually be like you want to have a remote job from China or Malaysia or Singapore.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. You don't have the legal ability to do that. So it's just only American remote work.
And I think that's what he's talking about. But it depends on the company that you work for and your value to the company, because sometimes they say no more remote work, but special rules for special people, because we need this guy. So, but Bitcoin is an old fashioned trader. I say Bitcoin should be traded, and you buy it just like anything else. It's a trading vehicle. Okay, it's not really to be bought and hold, in my opinion. Okay, it's gone up and down like three times already. So I'm saying is eventually the Chinese will pull the plug on Bitcoin or go back down. So
yeah, I've got 47 Bitcoin, and so I bought it a long time ago when it came out.
Oh, you got grannied in.
Okay. Yeah.
And what, so 2010, 2011?
Yeah, it was 2011.
Yeah,
just right when it came out.
It was like they were almost giving it away then.
Yeah, it was worthless basically like that. It was actually from one of my unemployment checks.
Yeah.
Right before I became homeless, I bought Bitcoin. I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
So basically, if it goes to like 75,000, I'm probably going to cash out 40 of them and then just get T-bills.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
Like just on my retirement's fine. So that would be what I'll do.
Yeah. Eventually. I mean, I think I went through this maybe right after COVID, about when it was like at 17. I was actually showing people how to trade it, and then I might have to pull out my old chart and show people, because I think it's still. I haven't looked at it in about 6 months. Because I made the chart back in 2018 and it's still valid about the levels. So I might have to pull it back out.
Yeah. I'd go for it. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Let's see. I have a software testing background. What should be the easiest path? I can go with AWS, build custom apps with Python for hotel backend systems.
That's cool. So I mean, well, if you want to join my class in the spring and September, of course I just restart AWS. So I start with DevOps Associate. Is it Dev Associate and
Developer.
Developer Associate, and then also SAA, which is Solutions Architect Associate. I have a method of teaching those certs. Basically, I teach all three certs. CCP also, I teach them all at the same time. I have a very specific methodology for doing this, which is rather effective. So you can do that, but if you just want to go your own way, just go take Stefan Marek, his AWS courses on Udemy. That's what I did. So in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I was studying under Stefan. I got a book. Here it is right here. So this is Cloud Computing Solutions Architect. So I use Stefan. Hold on, come right here. So Cloud Computing Solutions Architect. I use this book and Stefan to get my SAP, and I never looked back. But I don't think you're going to get an SAP because you're not psycho. I'm a little psycho. So
you are not human, sir. I keep telling you that. You don't believe me, and I tell you, we're going to send you through a scanner. I don't believe you. What language do you speak? What language do you speak, Theo?
So I speak English, French, Russian, and Japanese. I can read Portuguese to some degree, Korean. Actually, I read Ukrainian rather well, and Portuguese. Those are my next two that are coming in. I'm acquiring Thai and Korean again right now.
Well, like I said, you're not human, man.
I like studying. What can I do? What can I say? I just keep on going.
You are not a human, sir. That's what I keep telling you.
I go down to my gym. I exercise.
We tell him to embrace humanity in the class on a regular basis.
I'm like, what's that? It's so overrated. I'd rather just keep on doing that, particularly after monk mode 10 years.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like, oh, what's the purpose? I mean, I can get to like $900,000 a year, so let's do that, right? And then the students are like, no, go out and actually talk to people and meet people. I'm like, I could write an API for that, right? Do I really need to do that? Like,
like they said, monk mode, Betty good to me. Okay, that's what he's saying.
right?
There is something in monk mode. Monk mode doesn't mean that you don't interact with people. It just means you stay away from actual relationships and the binding relationship. But he talks to
Yeah.
people all the time, just not in person all the time. You know, kids do that all the time anyway. I have was it SISIP? A long time SharePoint.
CISSP. I
Huh?
have a CISSP. He
Okay.
has a CISSP, so
Okay.
Certified Information Systems Security
Okay.
Professional.
Okay. SharePoint developer and government contractor. Should I dive into Azure AI engineering or Azure security engineering?
I see these questions. I said, yeah. Thank you for your super chat. You have to choose what your heart wants. That's all I can say. I can't tell you which one, or I advise you.
Mm-hmm.
Do the one that you want to do. It's like going to the gym and saying, like, okay, so what kind of chest workout should I do? There's like 10 different options. Do the one you want to do that day. Maybe you want to work with a trainer, but in 1 week, you're going to have to do all 10 anyway. So start doing them now. Right. So that's the way I look at it. Just what do you want to do? Do that.
And Jules, you can get in right after this. If you want to blow your mind, go to Black Hat Conference. Thanks, BGS and Theo. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm on the MS Stack. Constant drilling is the only way. You have to get your hands dirty. Well, Black Hat, man, that is I think I've only been once, man. Yeah, you're gonna be on a list if you go to Black Hat. You got to know that, right?
I'm scared to go Black Hat.
Yeah, you're gonna. The photo will be uploaded to NSA, and your name will go into Black Hat. Just know that.
Yeah, I'm really scared to go to Black Hat, to be honest, because it's too good for me.
Hey, you told me to go Black Hat,
but you're not like super nerd like that, so you're still in touch with humanity.
Okay,
right?
Yeah,
I'll figure out ways of hacking there. Honestly, like, I could hack this way, I could do that.
Yeah, you see this BGS? You see this? My teacher set me up.
He's trying to keep the negative side of the black pill down, and probably learned too many things he shouldn't know. Okay, that's what they teach in Black Hat. Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, you can do that. Ooh.
Like you could hack all these vending machines just with your phone. Yeah.
Let me try and see if it works.
I teach them some of my methods in class and keep it under wraps, but sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, this is how you actually hack.
Yeah.
Give them some of my stories.
You're trying to stay away from the orange jumpsuit. That's what you're trying to stay away from.
Yeah. I've had issues in that area. So.
You want to be able to travel and do customs without them looking at you funny. So
yeah, that's why you travel through customs. Make sure your computer has nothing on it, and then you have your OS and your data on the cloud. So you just go through and reinstall everything and image it, and then got through it. I'm gonna screw you guys up.
I can't take you nowhere, Theo. Go ahead, Jules.
Good, Jules. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, got to unmute. Hey, Theo. Ninja?
How you doing?
BGS. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm glad I took the class. I have learned a lot, and I'll say the thing. I'm in several. I'm in pretty much all of them. The AWS, the CISSP. I'm in the Terraform, and now I'm in the Python class. Right, so there's a lot of information going on in my brain, and a lot of it's explained out pretty well, and you walk through at a good pace just to like do this and execute. Do this and execute. And then a lot of the books, like the cloud computing you showed, I've probably read 5 or 6 chapters of that, and I still have like another 3 or more to go. But you get the practice, and the theory comes a little later. So it's a lot better to absorb it, so you know, I can pin this idea to this practice, and then I understand what I'm doing. And I've already passed the foundational, and like I said, it was easier than I thought.
Okay,
but the practice test, you think you can fail, and you might. I mean, I failed my search for the other field I'm in, but you just got to try, and you got a good group of people around it to do it, and a good teacher and good support. So it's well tiered out.
Yeah. We don't rattle you or ride you badly if you fail, embrace it.
Embrace
Because
it.
at least
Learn
you
from it.
tried.
Yeah, learn from it.
We would rather, as I always tell the students, I would rather every one of my students actually try and fail than 50% not try at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then what is that? Like, it's nothing. Like, what? It's like going to the gym and watching people bench, but you don't bench yourself.
Yeah.
Your muscles ain't going to develop. So what's the value of it?
It's just an experiment. Look at it that way. Most experiments actually fail. Like so.
Yeah.
Experiment. Go take the test, fail it, and learn from it.
Yeah.
The one thing Theo's brought up a couple times, and it's going to be around for at least another few years, is the AI threat, and it's there, but it's not because AI is so great. It's because a lot of companies want an excuse to fire a lot of people, short their balance sheet, and say they have this tool that can replace 50 people. Yeah. And that is kind of true with certain automations, but that's not from AI. That's from different automations that they can put through so that customer service teams can be offshored a lot faster, until they only need 5 people here instead of 25 in a front office. So it's a little bit different.
AI is just part of the automation. Okay.
Yeah.
The Terraform modules we built are essentially like an automation to launch different platforms, websites, call centers, whatever. Sorry, I'll go on mute.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's actually true. So I mean, so I'm teaching later on AI SecOps, which is a new field, and I'm still preparing for that. But I've got the books for it. I've got the theory, and now I'm trying to think of practical applications so that students can actually do it in the class and then talk about it confidently in interviews. But it's also for myself, so I can say what I've done for AI SecOps. So I'm actually creating it. But the whole thing is the use case. So why would you do AI for security? What are you really looking for? So I've used it with web application firewalls, but that's machine learning, not necessarily AI. It's another step. So again, doing that, making sure that happens, because if I can get the students to do this, they're going to be like predators out there in the work fairs. like they'll be like at an interview where they're like, oh yeah, this is how you do AI for security. These are the 3 areas that you can do it in, and I'm going to show you how to do it in Python. I'd be like, oh yeah, like you could be giving, like they're going to pay like for your trip to Brazil 2 months BGS. They're going to do that. You're going to have like a great trip because they'll be like, BGS because of you. I got in contact with Theo, and now I just want to show my appreciation.
Oh man,
Sao Paulo and Rio.
I used to get sick of people. You know how to get in touch with Theo? Or no, you go through Obsidian, right? Obsidian knows how to get in touch with Theo, right? Say, what about Theo? I said, go talk to Obsidian. But now we got you, so talk to him directly.
Yeah, because I don't. There's something else I learned. So I'm not out there to promote myself, like I told you before. I'm just not out to promote myself. I'm usually promoting the student. I'm thinking about how to get the student to the next position or how to teach a student. So because I'm not promoting, somebody else has to do it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why the content creators are so valuable and necessary in the end.
And we need people like you because you guys are boots on the ground, and we're nothing without the people with boots on the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Said Theo Waff and the other brother giving black men game. I heard that. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
We're really trying to get you in there and showing you why you should get the job and how you can get it and reprogramming you. That's why the imposter syndrome is such an issue because the programming is deep. And I just want to say, guys, people are listening. It's not the white guy doing the programming.
No, it's not.
It's one particular unit. I'm not going to say, but it's one particular unit who's doing it. Because I got white people in my family, and I guarantee you, none of those none of those white guys were telling me stuff the way that other unit is saying it.
Was it the Terminator TI-1000?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
the one that always needs to be right.
Yeah. Who's the first person to tell you ain't shit? Okay. It said M Lavo says, shout out to you guys. BGS, this is amazing. Diversity of shows in 2024. Thank you, Theo, for the help studying cybersecurity now. Glad you are helping black men.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. Again, if you want to come to the class, come on in. Again, you can go into my CISP class. like we're running labs there. I'm actually see what I did in the CISP class is because they're both my students here. They're in there. I decided to go through CIS benchmarks, and that's a hardening guide. And I was like, okay, so let's harden your images, and then let's make your own AMI, which make your own application or your own OS. And I'm teaching them how to do this. And I don't know how much money I've made from this before. I mean, I've made actually quite a lot inside the offices. And now these guys, it's actually kind of dry to do this. It's boring. It's tedious. But I'm seeing them become competent in actually doing it. I mean, from a technical point of view, they're actually applying scripts. They're actually doing config files. They're actually looking at output and doing comparisons between what it was before and what it is now. These guys have the skill set to actually go in there and make money at $150,000 a year and up. So let's keep it going. Let's just keep on teaching them what to do.
Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes, guys. I had to go help my grandson with his homework. So,
yep.
Let's go through some more super chats real quick if we can. Got any advice for certified BI developer trying to transition into cloud development and engineering?
Hey, thank you, Richard, for that. So that is related to databases, and also with Azure. That's a very hardcore Azure environment. I would go to my friend Sub-Zero. You can look him up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, Sub-Zero.
Yeah, he's a very talented, very good. He knows that environment by far better than I do. I do not rock with BI developer. I'm just like, okay. Like I do security. You BI developers, you stay over there. I'm gonna put a wall here.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my security here. You guys do your stuff over there. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, I think Sub-Zero's been doing this for like 30 years.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
He is very skilled. He is by far better than I am. And I want to say this, guys. I have no problem saying somebody else is better than me in a certain area. And then you go over there and refer it. I don't get a kickback. I don't get anything. What I get to do is watch you be a professional. That's what I want. I want to see you successful.
I said, can we get everyone class information for business? Oh, okay. I don't know about it. You're talking about the information. Write it again, James. Okay.
Yeah, write it again in there. I need to see what it is because
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not incorporated, so yeah.
It said Global Passport says shout out to Theo and everyone for helping elevating Black men in the IT cybersecurity field. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hi Theo and BGS. I'm in your Facebook group, lifelong salesman, 20 years. I have a data and analytics course in Udemy. What IT vertical would you suggest?
The one that you want to do. The one that turns you on. Follow your heart and go with what you want to do. It's 20 years data analytics. There's plenty of data analytics courses and information. I don't do data analytics. I find it to be boring. It's actually just too boring for me. I can't really do it. But if that's what you want to do, go with that. I totally respect it. So there's certifications with it. Get the books. Go for it.
Yeah, that's the question for Theo. Does AWS proficiency require linear certification, or can folks move around and get certifications out of order based on studying?
You can get it out of order from what I've seen so far, because I've had more than one student go directly to the SAA. So they didn't need CCP first. They can do SAA straight out. I got the SAP straight out. So at least back then, there was no requirement. I do not believe there's a requirement for the SAP or DevOps Pro. So do what you want. Go straight for it.
They have a loose recommendation, but it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
And I say Theo's course prepared me for like how to understand what they're asking for. And there's, the workshop, what do you call it? The Udemy courses helped me with the test itself. So I understood like how to apply one to the other. So it really put a lot of that stuff into play. And I'll say I studied for the test actively for 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, something like that. And I got 75% on the actual test of the day. So I'm pretty good on that one. But I'm going to take the next one in about a month. So that requires me to get 75%. So I'm going to have to step it up. So there's there's a balancing act, but it's not difficult once you've played in the sandbox. And that's what Theo gets us to do for 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes 5 at the most. I mean, class can go long, but
how bad do you want it?
Solve a problem.
How bad do you want it? Yeah. Dimitri checking in. Shout out to Theo. Knowledge he has shared with us in the group has truly been valued. Really appreciate everything. Okay.
Thank you,
checking in
Dimitri.
from Jamaica.
Oh, from
Yeah.
Jamaica. Okay, all right.
Passport bro.
That's
Mm-hmm.
a Wrench Turner at BGS and Theo Tax. Appreciate you, Wrench.
Thanks, you Wrench. Yeah, we got a lot of passport bros in the class, and they're just increasing. So I'm really happy about that.
And says that Andre Magruder, hello all. I'm a full stack developer of about 15 years, focused on the front end. I make 130K now with no search. It's time to at least double that. What's the Facebook page and course info? Go ahead, Ninja Person. Go ahead, drop it in.
Okay, so somebody can drop in the information. But my comment on that is, I just remember, Andre, I went from $1,000 a month to $120,000 in 2 years, 3 months. And you have to be ferocious on your development of your career. I hit $250,000 a year the first time in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So between 99 and 2006, I went from $1,000 a month to $250,000. This is one of the problems that I do encounter, and I'm like, if you've been doing this 15 years and you're only at that wage, you're underpaid, man. Something's going on. So we need to talk with you to get you to that 300,000 ASAP. Right? That you should not be at that. It's just too low. 13 years, what? 15 years in IT, only 130,000? No, man.
Yeah.
No, too low.
I'll say this. Brothers are too loyal.
Yeah.
Honestly. I'm at my job. I'm making around I do all right. But I find that brothers are too loyal. They don't want to be as ruthless as we could be.
No, they don't. They don't want to move because moving around is fearful for black men. It's because you want to stay stable.
Yeah.
If you go out there on your own, you won't get another job. That's what you're afraid of.
So what I teach the students is they need to be in a blue ocean, which is specialization, and the blue ocean moves. So they need to be moving with their career and always re-specializing as time goes on. And then they will always have money because people will be demanding their services. If you are stagnant, you will eventually move into a red ocean, and then you only have like person skills to keep you in the job because you know somebody, but they can hire somebody from India to do your job, and that's not the position you want to be in.
True, exactly. Got to keep moving. In this business, you got to keep ahead of the wave.
That's why I'm in this course, because the Salesforce environment I work in, half of the people are in America, the other half are literally in India. And a lot of the people I work with are in India. So I know I see the dollar per hour wages are dropping, and I recognize like this red ocean is about to get swallowed up. So going somewhere where I can see there's a lot more opportunity, and Azure is growing to be, Microsoft like they always do. They're going to be a big second place. AWS is still growing, and they're hiring even more in that field because they're still growing and getting more contracts. Yeah. So it's where it's at.
Yeah. For AWS, they just built they signed a deal for data centers in Tokyo for like $10 billion, like maybe 15 billion. And then they also signed a deal in Mississippi for 10 billion. So cloud is here to stay, man. And if you guys have been listening to BGS, he's been telling you. Also, shout out to Sauchi. They've been telling you got until like 2030 to get your stuff together. So here's an outlet right now.
Yeah, they're trying to gut people now, is because as they try to isolate themselves from the rest of the world a little bit and bring stuff back in house, okay, they'll have to gut people to maintain their profits. So you got to stay ahead of the wave, okay. So beware, okay. Don't relax on your morals. Keep learning.
Yep.
Exactly.
What are you playing, Jules?
You got the mechanical keyboard.
Oh, I'm not muted. I'm sorry. I was typing into the chat. My bad.
Okay.
I was answering the Salesforce.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So probably like 5 years ago, Salesforce was a great environment, like AWS. The problem is the Salesforce team. I think their whole market is for CRMs is like 500 billion. Maybe like half billion.
Okay.
They're the big dog in that market. But AWS as a function is like five times bigger than that.
Oh yeah. It's called anything that has to do with commerce is going to be bigger. I say, Kevin, thank you for the cash apps. This is for the best of the worst students from Kevin 3905. Okay, appreciate you.
He's doing well.
He's doing well. Okay.
Yeah, he has a challenging story. So
Okay.
he's one of the guys I really like teaching because he reminds me again of where I was when I hit rock bottom, and he's working as hard as he possibly can to make it happen. So yeah, I think it's just a question of time before he's making $130,000, $140,000 a year and working remotely. He's a force.
Stop.
He's not stopping at all.
Don't stop. Yeah, because basically you have no choice. Okay, when you hit rock bottom, you're either going to die or you're either going to bounce back. There's only two options. Yep. Here's two Trib. Appreciate you for the cash app.
Yep.
Any other questions, folks? Okay. Anything you want to say? Because we got about maybe 10 minutes. Theo?
Okay. So again, to the people who are going for applying for the Facebook group, remember you have to go for the 2021 Houston Black Manosphere Conclave Cloud Registration Group. That's where you need to go first. If you go to any of my other Facebook groups first, I will not allow you in because you have to go through a process first. I have to understand who you are first before I let you into the main group. If I accidentally allowed you to go into the main group because I didn't know which group I was in, I probably just booted you out. I'm not trying to be insulting to you because you didn't go the right path. So I'll send you a note. Please go to the right path. Besides that, though, again, I have no regrets investing in black men. And I'm going to keep on doing this. And I'm going to get 300, 400, 500 black cloud workers by the time I stop doing this. And it's a long process, but I'm willing to put the work in because I see men who are willing to put the work into themselves. So I'm going to respect that and keep on going. To the detractors out there, do better than me or shut up.
Amen.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it again, black man. Say it again.
For the detractors out there, do better than me or shut up. All right. So again, shout out to Obsidian for promoting as much. BGS, again, darkest days. I was watching you. Thank you so much.
Man. Appreciate you, man. And for all the other guys, guess what?
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
Say, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks, my students. Thank you so much for showing up. And again, it's mainly getting people to get into class.
And thank you so much for doing this, Theo, man, because I always tell people, all I can actually do is throw my 2 shekels in the pot and hope the world changes. Okay, hope other people actually come along, and actually you have. So I appreciate you, man, from actually the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. Really, that's great. We gotta meet you one day. Brazil.
Brazil, okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna buy a condo in Brazil. So, like after I do that, I furnish it. I might be like, hey, I got a place for you, man. I got a Tempur-Pedic bed. I got everything else that you need. So go ahead. You got a grad son. We can work on making more family for you in here in Brazil. I can get you in that program.
Nah, the critical question, Theo, where's a taco truck? Where are they gonna make?
There's gonna be a truck outside. I'll make sure about that. Yeah, I'll be eating some stuff there. Yeah, Brazilian Japanese sushi out there.
What is that like? Brazilian Japanese sushi. What is that like?
It's good.
Okay, what's the difference between the two?
Little different taste. They put a little bit extra stuff into it that the Japanese, of course, would never do. So I think Japanese sushi is best, but the Japanese Brazilians put a little extra flair into it, and I love having that sushi. So it's actually very good.
So it's more like the potato salad, right? Which is bare minimum versus that extra spice, huh?
Yeah, it's a little different seasoning in there, but no pickles. Thank God for that. So it's just better. So it still tastes good. It's not like eating sushi in the States. That's like having like Karen's pickles. So the sushi here is just like, but why are you doing this to me? Like, this is not good. Like, stop. Go get a Japanese person to make the food here. So, my little opinion.
Okay, Passport OG, your Japanese brethren says this was so dope. Please do it again.
I know. We'll do it again. Hey, OG, thank you for participating. You did a great job in the class. Keep on going. And of course, yeah, I mean, I have no regrets saying I'm jealous because you remind me every day of what I've lost. So I'm just like, oh man, I want to go back.
How come you don't go back? It's just you just can't do it, or too emotional, or what?
It's a bit too emotional.
Okay.
It's kind of like you did it hardcore, Theo. You win this. You did that. You did that story. It's time to go to the next chapter.
Okay.
Do Brazil, Ukraine, Colombia, something like that. Do another adventure.
We got to wait on you. You got to wait on Ukraine though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Which is tragic, but yeah.
Yeah, bunch of idiots.
I know, man. We have to talk about that behind the wall, because in fact, they were just talking about that on I think Jamal Thomas's Frontline. Saying the exact same thing. It made sense in a way if you understand geopolitics, but things it didn't have to happen. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it didn't have to happen. It have to happen. All right, folks, closing thoughts, and I'm gonna get out of here because I got homework to do.
Okay. Jules, Ninja Person, go ahead. You guys go first.
Yeah, I've been updating my Indeed with all the stuff we've learned, about 25, 30 skills so far. A lot more pings from recruiters. So once I get the SAA, I think I'm going to start, making those conversations happen. I mean, this is a great investment. It's a lot of time, but it is worth it. And my brain has definitely been stimulated from the work. So
Theo's trying to make you non-human like him.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You'll be learning 9 languages like him next, okay?
Yeah.
Spanish first, then Portuguese.
Yeah. So I never have any mercy to the students. They're like, I had to study this, I had to do this. I'm like, look, man, I had to go on my first day of work in Japanese. I had my interviews to do in Japanese. You're doing it all in English? Stop. Like, it's just too easy for you. I don't want to hear it from you. Yeah, they're like, what kind of animal are you? I'm like, I'm not joking. So, like, can you read this book? I mean, like, this is like one of my kanji books. Like, can you actually go through and do this? Like, this is what I had to do.
Hey, well, Passport OG can. He can, but
I don't think he can read this. This is EQ.
I think he can read
maybe
it.
He can. I
think Passport OG can read it.
Ooh, but he can do that.
He's learning Chinese now, so.
Yeah, I know what level he's at in there, but I passed level 1 in Japanese, so I'm psycho. That's what I am.
You're not human, you're not psycho. You're just not human,
Yeah.
We have to. Do they change your battery regularly?
He's solar powered.
He's solar powered. Okay, nuclear power. You get the little pill back.
So all it does is Keisha comes out and she starts talking, and it's totally repowered. Like, boom! Like, oh, I'm gonna crush you right now. Like, just on that comment, I'm gonna make an extra 100.
Oh my God!
Passport bros, they're gonna go out there. I'm gonna keep on going for 1 year without human contact. I don't even care. I'll give you like an animal. I'm like, go ahead, say it again. Say it again.
All right, Ninja Person, go ahead, give me your closing thought, and then we'll close this out with Theo.
Miss BGS, man, I respect you from the bottom of my heart. Always appreciate you. And Theo, I'm gonna tell y'all in the chat. I went the CompTIA route, right? I got all the certs in CompTIA. Okay. I came to Theo's course. I said, hey, I got CompTIA. Theo's told me your certs weren't worth shit. All right.
Oh, that swift kick in the ass right off the bat, huh?
In the ass, and he caught the nuts too, bro. Like, it sucked. But I tell you that, like, after being in the class, after seeing, I was part of Theo's class number 4.
Okay.
It's about to be a year since I've been in Theo's class, and I'll tell you that, like, the jobs that I've been getting before Theo's class versus after Theo's class, night and day. Night and day. And now I got some high level certs, ones that Theo got, and and now it's just on me to fix my resumes and stuff, my LinkedIn resume, and then I'll be out of here. But my main thing is I want to make sure that guys in the chat and guys in the class can make it to that point where they're confident enough to pass. So that's why I, help out Theo a lot, because there are some guys that may not understand what's going on, and then Theo's like a pit bull. He's just going to go straight for it, right? So that's why I'm trying to pull the chain. Like, hold on, you gotta do X, Y. We gotta do 1, 2, 3, and then you're here. And to everyone in the chat, if you don't think you can do it, you're lying, because you can. Okay, there are plenty of brothers in the trades, plenty of brothers, blue collar workers, truckers, all that are even like ex felons. Like, if you believe in yourself for 1 second out of the day, join the class, and then join the class, and we will do what we can to get you in a better spot. But the only thing, and I end with this: the one thing we can't teach is effort and effort and focus.
Yes,
we can't stop that. We can give you all the game. I do study sessions with a lot of the guys. I help them get their certs, but I can't help it if you don't read a question.
Yeah,
I can't help it if you don't point out a key word. That's like you with your grandson, BGS. You can't help it if he doesn't read or see what you see. You have to just work with him through it. So that's what we'll do for you in the class. So I don't want y'all to think that, I gotta be this super smart dude already. No, as long as you have a post, as long as you're a black man, you got a laptop, and you have a will to do better than you did yesterday, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Gotta get your reps in. Gotta go in the gym and shoot your shots and practice your shots.
Yeah, that's exactly the way. Again, thank you, Ninja Person, for saying that. That's entirely correct. The first guys who passed, I helped passed, they were felons. So they got their GEDs in the slammer. They were both fishermen. They reached out to me on Reddit because I was talking about how much money I was making. I told them how to do it. I helped them out through Stefan. And during COVID in 2020, they went from being fishermen to $120,000 a year.
Wow.
In AWS. And they were like, I just want to do it as hard as I can. And what I have found is that the felons and the guys with only GED, like without a criminal record, like those kind of guys, the truck drivers, they do better in the class than the other guys. And it's usually because they have a drive. They're like, I don't want to be where I am right now. So I will do whatever necessary to do it. And I want to say, I respect those guys. I respect you. If you're a felon trying to go to my class, I respect you for your work you do. I'm going to be there to help you out 100% along the way.
Okay, that's Jerome Hunter. I've been a truck driver for 20 years. I'm ready to bring home some money. Be home money making. Making money.
Listen, Jerome, give it 12 to 18 months with Theo's course, and then you will actually be that. You actually do that, but you need to lock in. That's all I'm saying. Show up to class, do the homework, and the most important thing I'll say, and then I'll stop, I swear, is brothers need to group up in the class. You have to have a team. You gotta have guys that hold you accountable. Because you guys spoke to it earlier, Highlander syndrome. You can't do it on your own. You need guys that are willing to carry you along, you work with you, and are as dedicated as you to try to push forward, because there's going to be a sticking point. You need those guys to push you past the sticking point, and then eventually it will click for you.
That's what the Asians do. That's exactly what they do.
No, that's what I teach them in there.
Yeah.
It's like I was the only black guy in my classes, and I teach them. I say, you've got to study like the Asian and Indians do. This is how they do it. They're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, they team up. They crowdsource like a motherfucker.
Right. But we're better. That's it. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, well, you did. They already know it. That's for you, Theo.
Yeah, but my students are better. And when I see them, I just kind of said, I'm going to give you room to grow. I'm going to see what you do. They excel. They do it. They go out and they totally excel. I'm like, I couldn't believe you did that. I had a certain high expectation for you. You exceeded them. You went way beyond what I thought you were going to do.
Yeah.
Now I know the students can do even more now. So the students keep on pushing the bar more than I do. So be in there, guys. We'll get you to where you need to be.
Yeah. So I don't read Japanese. I think that's for you.
I was laughing at his comment. It's like laugh out loud.
Okay,
yeah.
laugh it out. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and anything to closing thoughts, Theo?
Hey, BGS, thank you very much. Again,
I appreciate you, man. I really do.
From the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just so necessary.
You're like a ghost legend in here, man. Where your name is, it always pops up. You're like a ghost. Anybody know get in contact with Theo? Can I find him? Say, no,
yeah,
person,
yeah, I'm not looking for it. I'm like a normal person. Like that's what I am. That's why I'm running content. Yeah, okay, I'm a cyborg.
Okay,
but, right? But I'm just walking down the street, doing my thing, like riding my bike, listening to music, playing with my dogs, right? Lifting. So I'm just being normal, and I just go to work and teach and things like that. I'm not looking for the publicity. Just it. I know I make my money from my investments and doing IT. So yeah, that's how it works.
All right, good folks. Till next time, I'm gonna let Dusty take us out. Remember, always stay dusty, man.